Hi friends, this is Caitlin and I'm so happy to be here with you with Pink and Main. You can see I have everything already pulled out and ready to go. We're bringing back an old favorite. This is the Owl My Love. And you can see we've used this stamp before for a live, I believe, last year for a really cute Valentine's Day card. And this year we're gonna bring back this little guy that's holding that little heart. And we're gonna be making a card that could be a Valentine's Day card, but it's not gonna have the word Valentine on it. So it could also be a love card for any time of the year. And we are gonna be making it a shaker. So let me take a second to check in with everybody who's over in the comments, and then we will jump in and start making our very bright and colorful shaker card, even though the only cardstock we're going to be using is white. So I see Gail's here checking in, and Sharon. I see Jeanette and Susan. Melissa's in, but we don't know how long because she's not feeling great. I see Miss Jackie Ann is here, and Virginia. I see Jay is here, and Lori's here checking in. I see Kelly. The dog is sneezing. I see Shannon's checking in, and Michelle. Welcome, welcome. Oh, you're putting me on the big screen? No pressure. Dad's here, and Danielle's here. Jay, there's actually going to be very little coloring. I'm only going to be coloring the owl. But we're going to do some fun stamping to make our own kind of pattern paper. So I think it'll turn out really cute. Melissa says, bless you, Loon. I see Pam's checking in. Awesome. All right. Let me start cutting down some of this paper and tell you what my plan is. Okay, so the star of the show as far as new products goes is the square shaker covers that we just got. They are a 3.125 inch square. And when I was thinking about using a square shaker on the front of my card, I have a hard time using squares on my A2 cards in general because, you know, they like our rectangles are like I don't know, the the ratio is off for me in my mind. So I was like, what else can I add to the square that makes it feel more grounded and more intentional? And so I was looking at the sizes here, and this square pretty much perfectly fits inside the frame, the square stitched frame that is part of the Cut Essentials Set 1. And then it also comes with, you know, a couple other banners and things that we can put around it or under it to help. But I thought it would be really cute to have a little shaker inside our window. And then I think I want to pop the little owl like right in the middle. So we'll still be able to see the shaking happening in all of the little boxes around. And instead of doing like pink confetti sequins, I want to use the Party Hearts confetti. I don't know how much of this we're going to be able to put in the shaker pouch, shaker cover, because the clay pieces are a little more 3D than the confetti, but I figured it was a good time for us to try it out and see how it goes, because we won't know if we don't try. So my idea was for the paper to leave this frame white and to make our own background pattern paper with the cute hearts, or at least maybe the one heart that's in the stamp set, the solid hearts, and some Oxide inks to try to match our confetti hearts as close as we can. So I think that'll be fun to make our own patterns. We have our little owl. We have some really adorable little lovey sentiments, and we'll figure out sentiments and any other additions like as we go. Hi, Phyllis. Thanks for checking in. All right. So let's start with a A2 sized front. Let's see what our square looks like. Right on that A2. I just know myself, and you can absolutely skip this, but I'm going to trim down the panel we're going to stamp onto just a little bit. What is that? 1/8 of an inch on either side so that we end up with a teeny tiny thin white border, and we're going to overlap those. Just like a little peak of plain white around there. Okay, and then we'll cut another one of these. It's just 4 for our square, and we'll save this for if we need any extra pieces. All right, so you are our card base, you are our square, and you are our fun, colorful background. So I don't have all of the little oxide cubes. I got 2 of them when they first came out. But I think we can make it work. So mustard seed. We've got an orange, spice marmalade, definitely some pink. We have a light pink and a hot pink, so maybe both of those. We've got a kind of bluey purple, so I'm going to go Villainous Potion. A very light blue, so let's do Salty Ocean. The green isn't exact, but I think Cracked Pistachio is going to be our closest bet for that one. And then we do have a red. I think that's everything. Not that that's already not a lot. It's definitely a lot. I know it is. And we're going to do some free stamping. I think it's cute to do the clusters and the big heart. I was originally just going to do one, but I think I like the idea of both. This is not a great stamping block. There we go. That's a better stamping. They're dirty, but you know, it is what it is. Hey, Elizabeth. Me too, Jay. Me too. All right, the trick for me when making my own pattern paper is that I want to make sure that I'm carrying my ink off of the edge of my paper. So let's start with our red, some lumberjack plaid. And you'd want to make sure you're spinning and rotating your stamp. And because we have so much going on, I'm only going to do maybe like 4. So like 3 of this big heart and 1 of the cluster of each color to start. And you know what? We'll just put the clusters on one side and then the big heart on the other, so you don't have to keep moving them. There we go. And I just have my Pink and Maine microfiber over here on the side. I put a little water on, and I'm just going to wipe it in between. All right, some picked raspberry. And I know that my square is going to be covering some of this. So I'm not going to try super. Oh, it's going to cover a lot more than I was thinking. That's okay. That one's definitely still visible. Whatever. Since that one's covered, we can put that extra pink right there. We're going to skip the light pink for now in case I run out of room. Hey, Dawn. All right, let's get some happy yellow in here. But yeah, I was drawn to bring these owls back out. I was torn between them and the like We Go Together stamp set, because that one's so cute too, with like the little chips and guac, and there's like pizza and soda. But the owls were really calling to me, and my first thought was like brown and pink and red. But I feel like that's always my first thought, and I was like, okay, well, what else could we do? Like, what else could I add? How can I change this up? And so I thought it would be fun to make it not rainbow necessarily, but just like really fun and like very happy colors. He does all right. And they almost kind of have that like candy hearts feel. It's cute. Just trying to make sure I'm leaving some room in case I end up overfilling. Do I dare try a restamp? That's not too bad. And we're not going to be activating these as oxides. The only reason I picked them over the Distress inks is because they stamp in general nicer than the inks, and I didn't want to have to put this in a Misty and try to like move it all over. There was no way that I was going to put up with that. Okay, so we definitely do have still a little bit of room. Let's bring in a little bit. Why do I keep trying to peel that off? Just habit, I guess. Some light pink, and then maybe a little more yellow. It's cute. Do you need any more on that side, or is it not going to show up anyway? Have a little kind of tucking out from under there. And in general, I feel like yellow is a good color. If you're going to have extra of something, yellow is a good one to have extra of. Who wouldn't rather have just an extra peak of sunshine? Cute. Yeah, I love taking a stamp, like a small stamp from a set that you're using, and making it like a bigger feature, like a background element. All right, I think that's good for now. We'll be able to add in some extra hearts or extra things here or there if we need to. So let's hold off. I think that's good enough for right now. I'm gonna leave these out and just kind of tuck them up at the top. There you go. In their proper order. And I'm gonna leave those on my little block for right now too, just because I am definitely not convinced that we're not gonna need them again. And then we need our little scrap rectangle. And all of these are adorable. I just wanted the smallest owl so that the most shaker will be visible. Yeah, Desiree, I just got the cubes hoping I didn't get all of them, but I got some of them because I have some of the big oxide pads, but they're like tucked away and I never remember to grab them. So I was hoping, like I have all of my cubes, my inks and my other things over on the side here next to my desk. So I was hoping if I could see them with my other inks as an option that I would grab them more. But I haven't grabbed them much. So today is a good day to give them some love. Okay. We'll do a big old zoom. Yeah, isn't he so cute? Just a cute little owl baby. That's the voice I speak to my dog with. Sorry, it just snuck out. Okay. I kind of want to do a non-brown owl. What if our owl was like pink? I feel like that would be pretty cute. Let's make a little pink owl. We'll do them the same colors, but darker on the outside and lighter on the inside areas. So I'm going to come in with that RV 1.7 and start shading the outer edges. Of our little owl baby. And then up here on his little widow's peak, we do the bottom of his wings, or her wings, its wings. And then down here at the bottom, because there's like a little line under here where it kind of is showing that the belly stops. And I'm going to come back through and add texture to the little feather wings. But I want the ink on top, or like the bottom layer of ink, to be dry first so it doesn't smooth it all out. I'm glad that Dawn approves of the pink. Okay. That's a pretty nice blend. I think this is a cute way to bring in pink and still not have it feel like a typical Valentine's card, because it's like the pink is still is there, but it's showing up in a more unexpected way. Maybe. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. Okay, so what was our lightest shade is now going to become our darker shade, and I'm going to be using this very minimally, just right around the outside of the face, and we're really going to lean in heavily on this RV 1.1, and this is so much lighter, we might end up doing some tip to tip with this one. Yeah, I'm going to unscrew these. And we are going to pick up some of our 1.3 with our 1.1 marker and start pulling that color in from the edges. And we can smooth it out. But it's going to help us get a nice transition. See how that side has so much more shading, but it still looks really smooth. And by the time you're done blending all your colors back out, worst case, you'll have to give it like a little bit of a scribble on your paper at the bottom, some scrap paper, but that extra ink will kind of clear itself out. There we go. So cute. I feel like you can't tell that that's pink. I love that. And then maybe a little orangey yellow beak and feet. I'm thinking, I mean, green's going to give us the most punch. I'm either thinking green or yellow for the heart. Oh, bye, Melissa. Have a good night. Hey, Lisa. I don't think I saw you when you jumped in. And I see you saying hi to Helene. I think I missed Helene too. Do we want to go more sunshine or punch of contrast? I have a good green that matches. I think I'm going to go green. I might regret it. Actually, you know what? We can do both. Porque no los dos. We can totally do both. Because there's a little outer layer and an inner layer to this little heart. I'm only going to add the darker green right around where he's holding it. That's cute. It is kind of light, but it is very cute. Oh, I like him. And you know what I forgot was that we were going to go back in and add some texture to those wings with that darker pink. There we go. Just like a little bit. Okay. Let's die cut our little owl. And we can die cut our square frame too. Oh, they're gonna have to go through separately anyway, but we can prep them at least. Just like that, I guess we're not wasting paper. Let's get some fresh washi. Really need this to stay in place. Okay. Well, 2 of them came out clean. Pop that one back in for another round. Add in my owl. Okay. There we go. Cute. So there's our little window. And when I held it up before, I wasn't considering that these inner stitch marks are these. And so our shaker comes inside this line, but we are going to have a little bit of a space around our shaker. But I think maybe we'll just make like little strips of something to go around it. We'll figure it out. We will figure it out. We always do. You know what? That's perfect. This little thing right here makes that little pinked, the pinked like little ribbon add-on, and we could put that the whole way around. Sharon, unfortunately, I don't do anything regarding the hops except put up a post for it. So I'm not sure, but I can definitely reach out to Libby after. Or you guys can always email, I think it's support@pinkandmaine.com. And that should be able to get any questions that you might have answered. Oh yeah, we're doing that. You're the card thing. I need more paper, don't I? Yeah, I need more paper. Didn't I have an extra piece of paper? I did. She's right there. Perfect. Okay, the problem is I don't want to die cut this whole thing for one strip. Let's break out our little edge zigzag things we just got. These things. Let's grab these things. Right, and we can like pop one of these. Yeah, that's fun. We can just do that through a couple times. Maybe we can ink them a fun color. Or colors. There's one. We're gonna need a bunch. Sorry for being over here for a hot minute. Right, we've got 1, 2, yeah, each one's not even gonna do a whole square. Probably need 6 to be safe. I know, and every time I do this, I feel like I'm sending you into like an earthquake. What are we at? 5. Last one. Okay. Thank you for your patience. Hey, Karen and Christian, I think. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so you and you in there. Okay, and now when I said I was going to do that, I mean like from the back, like that. So it'll like peek under. So the real question is, I guess we only really needed the 4 because we can just go around the outer edges. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Looks like every square needs a different color to me. Cut these in half-ish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. And I still have extra in case I just botched that. Where are my oxide brushes? I have these oxide brushes that are not specific color, like separated by color name. They're just by general color. So we'll start out with our pinks. My kids were off this whole week from this snow. The whole week, guys. Crazy. Because there's so much snow that they haven't been able to clear like all of the sidewalks and the spaces where the bus is supposed to pick all the kids up. So there's like no safe place for them to stand and wait for the bus or a way to get on the bus safely. So, but it's not going to get over like 30 degrees in the next 5 or 6 days. So I don't know how they're going to figure that out for going back to school eventually, because the snow's not going anywhere unless they're going to do something about it. It's not going to melt on its own. So yeah, remember when I said it wasn't going to really be like a rainbow card? We're about to make a rainbow. But if you don't want a rainbow, you just pick 1 or 2 colors maybe, or 4 colors. Yeah, Helene, you said your YouTube's not working right? Yeah, I for sure thought they'd be back today with like a late. But they're technically like a virtual day, like they call it asynchronous. So silly. But my youngest is in 3rd grade and she doesn't have like a school computer. So her teacher basically was like, have them write a story about their snow week, like their week off. Okay. Getting orange everywhere. See, I was like, I'm going to end up doing this one so fast because I'm not coloring. But now, look, we're already after 9 o'clock and I don't have anything assembled. That's okay. I think that like the main part of this is going to come together really quickly, really easily. Especially that shaker cover. That always makes things easier. You are definitely not the same kind of green. If that happens and my green on here is looking very like limey and I need it to be not, I just kind of swipe more of my, I swipe my brush off onto a paper towel or my microfiber with a little water if I can, like a damp microfiber, and that'll usually take out a little bit, enough anyway, of that extra ink on that brush. Two-hour day delay tomorrow. Yeah, I was really shocked. But they do some busing here down from the city of Wilmington. And so I feel like that's part of it too. They just have, it's so hard for them to get and clean out all of those streets in the city. I love Salty Ocean. It's such a happy blue. All right, last one. And then I promise from here on out, it's all assembly. Or assemblée for my fellow dance kids. But I do think this is a cute way to tie in those heart colors one more place. Right, I talk about like the threes, trying to have your special colors in threes, and now it's kind of not the color, but like the pattern or feature, right? Our little rainbow is going to be in our actual confetti, in the background pattern paper that we made of our card, and now around our little frame. How do I want to do this? Let's take our Easy Tear 1/8 inch tape. She's so nice and precise and strong. Get the end of my pokey thing. I'm Sharon. Yeah, I just live a little bit south of there. Oh no. Oh, because they're wet. I think we can make it work anyway. Okay. Because this whole thing's then going to get taped on the front of that shaker window. I think the biggest trick is going to be to see if I can manage to not get my yucky fingerprints all over this. Oh my gosh, Helene said you're getting more snow. Oh no. They said we were supposed to get more this coming weekend, but then they keep changing the forecast, so who knows? Who even knows? They don't know. A little happy green. Do you see the vision? It's coming to life. Yeah, exactly, Elizabeth. That's what happened here. I mean, I think we got close to, they keep anywhere between 8 and 10 inches of snow, but then we had like 5 hours, I think, of just ice, just like sleet and ice. And so like over the 10 inches of snow, there's just like a solid block of ice, and it hasn't gotten warm enough. Oh, I switched and did the wrong side. That's okay. I guess we should do light pink. Yeah. We'll go rude. We'll go light pink, hot pink, purple. All right. Oh no, Danielle. Green, what are you doing? Get back in there. Oh, I didn't peel the sticker off. Okay. Grand reveal. It's so cute. Okay, now let's make the shaker bits to go with it. All right, so our shaker square is 3.125. So what's that? Is that a 16th? An 8th? I don't know what that is. But of course, I need more white paper because I go through white paper more than anyone I know. Right, yeah, you're way too small. Okay. I think I can keep Michelle in business just from my Ice Rink cardstock purchases alone. All right. 3. We're gonna go 3 1/4 to start. Then I can start kind of chipping away on the guillotine maybe, because this one does not, like right around the 3 is when that orange bar happens, and I don't want to risk that. So as much as I don't love using the big guillotine chomper, we will for just today. Okay, if you were going to be just a little bit small, Let's go 3 1/8. So it looks like that's exactly 3 1/8, but because we're going to be folding these tabs over, I like it to just be a little bit smaller. So I'm going to come in 1/16 smaller than that from those two sides. So 3 1/16 by 3 1/16. Hey, Brennan. Are you back in school? Why are we napping? Why are we night napping again? You're basically sleeping, my dude. Yeah, there we go. And so now you can see we have that little bit of an edge, like a space right between that line and our paper. Okay, what do I need? I need a pokey tool. See how this says remove protective film? The easiest way to do that is to take something sharp or pokey on one of these tabs so that if you scratch it or dent it, it doesn't matter because that's getting folded over anyway. And then you can peel that off with a beautiful front section there. All of our tabs are going to get folded to inwards to make a little bowl. We're going to, you know what I think we should do? I'm just worried because of the clay pieces that if I pour them in, there's going to be some like weird shape curving, stacking, something weird's going to happen. So as not like exciting as this is, we're going to sprinkle these in first and make sure everyone is laying really flat. And when I go to remove this tape, these might shift, but at least I can say that I tried. And there's always a very high chance that I'm overthinking this and that they would have been fine. But we're already so far in that I really don't want to risk it. I'm really excited about this one. My pink and main cards have really been pulling their weight for me emotionally the last like week or two. Okay, so our paper is gonna go flat. And I'm holding it down with my left hand while I attempt, there we go, to peel off the backing paper. I'm gonna hold this one in place too, just to make sure that I've got good room side to side, which it looks like we're doing good. Okay. Yeah, see, they're gonna stack up anyway, but whatever. At least there's none like jammed in the corner. Well, look how fun! Oh, I love those. They do. They look like little conversation hearts. And then they're gonna live. It didn't cover it perfectly, but I really don't care. That's cute. That's so cute. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I don't care who knows it. Okay. We have this. We have this. Let's attach those first. So remember, I trimmed down our pattern paper panel just a little bit. I just smeared some orange. Oh well. There we go. That's better. Okay. And then our, that looks so cute. Right, our little shaker rainbow window. That. And our owl. And then we can add a little sentiment down here. Adorable. All right, we gotta come in with our thick 1/2 inch easy tear tape now. What do we want that's only $5? I missed it. Yeah, Jay, I'm sure at this point you can tell I'm not great at white space. So this is like a interesting way to add it while also still making a rainbow card for me, right? It satisfies the part of me that loves a matte and a little white accent while also supporting my too much gene, which is really all I want out of my card making. Endless support for my endless too much gene. Okay, I do want this a little more up than down, a little higher versus lower. This is not, that is not straight. Okay, that's fine. Everything is fine. I'm gonna come back in with another layer of our thin tape, but this time we are also going to be adding it across the center, which is going to give us a ton of extra support for keeping this where it needs to stay. Oh, the heart confetti. Yeah. And there's like a bunch of these confettis that Michelle's brought in, and they're all adorable. There's hearts, there's stars. I think there's little like sprinkles. So cute. I think originally they were just for the one of the advent calendars, but I'm so glad that she kept them. I love a cute clay shaker filler. I do have a pretty good collection going on over in my sequin and shaker bins. Okay. Will you stop, stay. Bro, what are you doing? Stay. Come on. Okay, that pink does not want to stay where I've asked it to. So I'm going to add a little touch of liquid glue in the hopes that that will help it to calm down. We're so close. Can't be messing around now. and get this. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So cute. Our little owl can get liquid glued because it's paper. I used all that tape because using liquid glue on that acetate can be annoying. And then I think we do maybe need, well, our sentiments have coordinating die cuts. So maybe we'll just die cut our sentiment and pop it under there. I would rather it be one long one, but I don't love the thanks for owl you do, because I do want this to feel more lovey. So maybe guess who's thinking of you or sending owl my love. I think we'll do that one. And maybe we'll stamp it with Dress Shop. Or is she not purple enough? Maybe we'll have to do it with Picked Raspberry. Just so the color is very on theme. I'm also wondering if it'd be better if she was popped up on a banner. Oh no, popped up just on that would probably be fine. Sending out my love. Oh, that was pretty close. Brendan, I'm going to stop acknowledging those types of messages, okay? Again, for you, out of the kindness of my own heart, made sure that I was still here live when you woke up from your nap. So I think what you meant to say was thank you, Caitlin, for making sure that the card took long enough for me to wake up. Okay, you go there. Which one of you looks like sending owl my love? Absolutely not. There we go. Okay, last die cut thing. I think I said that like 4 times already. Hopefully my dad is still here, because it just occurred to me. This pattern that we've made when I was a little kid, like little, my dad was a clown. And like a professional clown, and I had a clown costume that he would take me and we would go do clown conventions and stuff, and my apron from my clown is like basically this exact pattern, and it like just clicked to me now that that's what I have made. It's very funny, and I hope that if he's still watching right now, that he picked it up before I did, which I'm sure he did. Okay. Yeah. Again, I kind of wish it was longer, but I think that that's very cute. I think it works. So there is my finished little happy, bright and colorful and joyous little love card that could be for Valentine's Day or could be for any time of year that you want to tell somebody that you're sending them all of your love. This is so fun. Okay. That's it for this week's lives, guys. I am so grateful for you as always for coming to hang out with me. I know everybody has busy lives and I love seeing you guys twice a week. I will be back next week with, let's see, it'll be I don't have the stamp of the month yet, but should I receive it before Tuesday, in theory, we will be using the stamp and die of the month for February on Tuesday. And if not, you guys know, I will find something else fun for us to get into. So yeah, otherwise, I hope that you have an amazing weekend. Please stay safe and warm and send a kind message to somebody. And if you need a kind message, message me and I will send one back to you. But otherwise, thanks again. I will see you guys soon. And until next time, happy crafting. Have a great night, guys.